Hey, good evening, guys. How are you doing? Yaros, Ghost Rider, Richard, good evening. How is the video and audio in your end, guys? Nice to see you again. As you know, I was busy for the last 2 weeks. Now, now I'm here, live stream open to everyone. Video and audio good from Richard's side. Perfect from Ghost Rider, excellent. From Sub, thumbs up. I'm good, thank you very much. How are you? Ghost Rider, is it audio good? Yaros, how's the weather in Varna? We're having a moss green winter in the spring, Cyprus. Weather is excellent. Today was around 18 degrees, and I spent actually whole day riding. I went out at 9 o'clock in the morning and came here around 7 o'clock in the evening. So I spent the whole day riding around. Went and met a lot of friends actually in the villages around Varna. Was excellent. Spring allergy. Okay. So, guys, nice to talk with you. As you know, today we're not going to have any topics. It's open discussion. Any question that you might have or any information that you would like to share, go ahead, feel free to do it. I don't have anything to tell you, no speeches from my side. I will just answer your questions if you have any. I hope that many people will come and we can make an interesting discussion. I look forward my trip. I still got 2 months to start. How is the Carpure ride working so far? So far, it's working great, Richard. I went with this device to Croatia, and almost the whole Serbia and Bosnia, I used the device because I've got a very special route that's going through the villages, and I cannot do it without it. And it works absolutely well. I was afraid that the battery of my telephone will die very quick, but actually I forced myself to use it all the time, even though sometimes I didn't really need it. If I see, for example, that I have another 50 or 60 kilometers in the same direction, I can easily turn it off, but I let it work all the time just to see how long the battery will last. And in one of the days I rode around almost 10 hours, and I still got around 15% battery in my telephone. 15%, 1-5. So it is perfectly fine to last the whole day to navigate yourself. If you listen music and maybe other things, might be different story, but only for navigation, 9 to 10 hours without any problems. And it works perfectly all the time. I have no complaints about Carpure ride device so far. Of course, the best test will be when I go to Central Asia. I'm very curious to know how it will work on temperatures over 40 degrees, on dust and stuff like that. Okay, Yaros, any tips on parking on a motorcycle on the ground floor parking? So far, I have selected same hidden spot. I have ground anchor ember at the floor and chain the wheel also tracker. Well, what I have to say, the most important part of everything in terms of security is to be creative. If the underground parking is easy to access from a strange person to go inside, no matter what kind of protection you will build inside, it will be easy to be destroyed. So location of the parking or accessibility of the parking is more important than the security you're going to make there, because if someone go there 5 o'clock in the morning, there will be no one to see what they are doing. They can use a grinder or whatever to cut the chain, to destroy your anchor or anything. So how I have to say, you have to pick a good location, probably with security cameras or maybe security guard, I don't know, but just don't let it just like that, trusting that your anchor will save it. Bob Giggles 6654. What do you think regarding the shift from leisure to mid-size bikes for older guys? What I think about to shift from bigger to small bikes for older guys, definitely a positive direction. I also myself try to switch, let's say in 10 years time, to something lighter, probably around 450 cc, at least 30, 40, 50 kilos less than my Tenere at the moment. So the lighter you are, the easier it's going to be for you, and probably more fun to ride when you have this visibility. Richard, visibility in the sun, fantastic. I have no problem to see it in any part or any sun or shadow in the day. Have no problem with visibility at all. Also, does not react on the raindrops at all. It is waterproof, and even if the rain goes on it, no problem at all. It does not change the screen. One of the days was almost all day raining in Serbia, no problem at all. So in terms of usability and the battery life and visibility, perfect. I cannot complain at all at this point. There is one moment when you turn on the device from your telephone and you adjust your direction and press to go, then the map disappear from your telephone and go directly to the device. And if for that moment you decided to use the telephone for something else, maybe make a phone calls or something like that, and exit from the map, it might lose connection. But if it happens, you just need to open your telephone, press it again, close it, and put it in your pocket. You don't need to keep the telephone open all the time, if you understand what I mean. But it should be on the main map when you put it in your pocket, so something like that. Thumbs up. How is it in Bulgaria nowadays regarding motorcycle in terms of regulations and friendly driving? It is fine. We don't have many regulations for motorcycles, no vignettes, nothing like this. It is fine. And because it's Bulgaria, we still can afford to ride a little bit more, you know how, like a real motorcyclist, not to obey all the rules. And police usually don't mind, as long you're not riding so fast or in the public areas or stuff like that. But just small things are fine. You can filter between the cars and stuff. It's not a problem at all. Today, for example, I made a U-turn on the wrong place, and then I jump on the sidewalk and park my motorcycle in front of police. And actually, I haven't seen them. I did not see them. And when I saw them in the last moment, I thought that they will make me a problem, but they just go just like this. So it is fine. What do you think about the TET movement? I think it's a nice option for many people who really enjoy this type of riding or this type of trips. But it's something that you have to have in mind, that it restricts your visibility, what you're gonna see, and your time. It's the reason I don't go on the TET roads is because I want to see the whole world. If I focus on a specific TET sections, it's not gonna happen in my lifetime. I'm not gonna have enough time. I might include a section here and there if it's on my route, if I can make a fast connection or shortcut, something like that. I don't mind to go on the TET road, but I'm not gonna go on a specific TET road trip just to see a specific section, because when you ride there, it is fun to ride off-road, but you cannot see anything else. You have only your truck, your forest, and after 2-3 days, I honestly does not enjoy it anymore. I want to see something else. I want to move to the different place or stuff like that. So this is my opinion. I'm not saying it's bad, but if you plan to ride only on the TET roads, first, my advice will be to pick the right motorcycle, as light as possible, off-road orientated, and then plan your trips more interestingly. Otherwise, on some stage, it's going to be exactly the same every single day. Okay, next one. So now, because you're many people now, guys, the comments are coming fast. I might miss someone. I'm really sorry about it, but I'm just a human, and English is not my powerful side, so I will try to answer everyone. Yaros, in my experience, copyright overheats in a very hot weather, 35 plus. I have switched to Qi a year ago, and so it's much better, although much more expensive. I cannot say anything right now. We're about to see. Maybe it depends on that, how exactly you use it and for what. But as I said, the final test will be in Central Asia when the temperature starts, I expect to go over 40 degrees, and I will definitely tell you how it works. But also keep in mind that I'm not going to use it all the time. Now for Serbia, Bosnia, and my road to Croatia, I need it because it was roads like this. But in Central Asia, even on this Pamir highway, it's one road. I don't really need anything else. even map, because it's one road. You cannot make any mistakes. Maybe sometimes in the towns or cities when you try to find something, I will use it, but not all the time. But I will definitely tell you my experience when I come back. Terrain traveler, lighter is the right. At 63, much easier for me. Absolutely agree. The lighter the motorcycle is, the better, and probably the safer way to go, especially when you're over 40, 50, even 60. Some people on 70 still right, but I don't think that to have very powerful and heavy motorcycle, it's a good idea on that age. Георги Василев, добър вечер, Георги, как си? Terrain traveler, rock straps or bungee cords, cargo net or another method to strap things down? Well, Richard, since I've got my saddleback from 21 Brothers, it comes with the straps, and I stopped to use all of that stuff. Sometimes when I go around the town here, I need to take a small bag with me. I have like a bungee straps, I think they were, like elastic straps that I used to tie it on the back. But for my luggage, the straps that are on my saddleback are always there, and I don't use anything else. I've seen some people use different belts with a small, like a carabine, so you can lock it, tight it, and lock it. They are a good option as well. Channel 11 original. Do you use Garmin InReach for your equivalent? No, I do not. I do not. I have it here at home, but I don't use it because I have a dedicated stream on this Garmin device. You can find it on the channel. The stream was about navigation. I explained in many detail why I don't use it and what is the difference between this device and the real usage of this device. Is a little bit different and complicated, and people don't really understand it. No, I don't use it. Ghost Rider, considering motorcycle safety, when I was younger in my student years, I used to park my motorcycle outside of the police station in my town, and I will have a bicycle there, cycle back home 5 minutes away. Yeah, this is a good option. Better is to find another place, maybe in front of police, if they allow you, in front of big hotel or in front of big coffee restaurants or place where someone will watch your motorcycle all the time. Not exactly underground parking where no one can see what happens inside. Denis Keras, good evening. Marhaba, Denis. Nasılsın? Terrain traveler, are 3 meals a day necessary, and are there advantages of having just 2 or stick to 3? Use whatever is good for you, Richard. Sometimes I have breakfast, sometimes I do not have breakfast. Depends on that how I feel at the moment. Most of the time when I wake up very early, 5 or 6 o'clock, I just go on the road and eat probably around lunchtime when I'm really hungry. And usually on my trips, I eat no more than 2 times per day. Not because I try to keep some kind of diet or something like that. No, it's just because I'm not hungry. Especially when it's interesting road or when I have to cover many kilometers and I don't have much time, I prefer to ride and not stop and wasting time and especially eating heavy meals. So how many times per day depends on the person. Some people prefer to stop more often and eat. I'm not that type of person. Channel 11 original. Do you follow any other YouTube world travelers? No, I do not follow other motorcycle travelers because what I have to say, I have my own trips. I have my own understandings about traveling, and this is not something that I enjoy watching from others. I watch different type of videos. I watch a lot of YouTube, but not on motorcycle topics. I tried a few times to follow some other people videos, but I just don't find them interesting. For example, I have been pointed many times, oh, watch this or that episode of Ichi Boots or this or that, and I saw that the episodes are with millions of views, and I forced myself to watch these episodes, and it was just not for me. I did not enjoy that process. I don't know why. Maybe because this is what I do all the time, and I don't find it informative. A few times I also tried to find a specific information about the specific places by watching other people's videos, but they were not completed, and I cannot get the information that I needed. That's why I don't watch this type of videos. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't enjoy this type of videos. One person I watched very often. It's not about his trips; it's about his advice. Is the guy from Australia, Aryan Man, wonderful guy. He has a wonderful production videos, and I watched a few of his videos. But because he makes this fantastic cinematic views, and that's why I watch it. But on motorcycle travel or vlog videos, I have no. Adam Riemann, exactly. I have zero interest to watch. Do you intend to connect to motorcycle community in your next trip, or do you guys contact? Okay, connect the motorcycle community in your next trip, or do the guys contact? Yeah, usually when I share my route, many people contact me. People who are on the road and they offer help, accommodation, or to meet me on the road. And of course, I always do it if I'm very close. I don't mind meeting people. And yeah, I enjoy this process, meeting people on the road. Do you prefer Bob Giggles 6654? Do you prefer tubed or tubeless? At the moment, I have tubes. I don't mind tubes. I understand that tubeless it's much more easier to fix on the road, but each one of the systems got some kind of pros and cons. I don't have problems with the tubes. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass, but there is a reason why these tires are with tubes. So what I have to say, I don't mind each one of these systems, but with the tubeless wheel, in my opinion, you still need to carry at least one spare tube with you and tire levers, because if you bend the rim, you stop there. But definitely tubeless, it's much easier to fix on the road. Adam Riemann, Ghost Rider. Of all the new Tenere 700, which one year will you recommend? If budget is not a problem, and also which modifications are must? I have model 2021. Then the next model 2022 was a little bit different with a facelift and different dashboard and different ABS switch, which is not so good. Then we have 23, 24 about the same. Now the 25, it's a little bit different. It is ride-by-wire. Which model I recommend? I really don't mind. I prefer my old option because everything is more easy to work on. Now the last model 2025, my friend and mechanic Plumman have it with ride-by-wire, and he's not so happy with this system. The other day we were in his garage. He was fixing my motorcycle chain and stuff like that, so I needed to go to my place, so I went with his motorcycle, and I really find this ride-by-wire a little bit strange. I don't really like this system, but it is basically the same motorcycle. If you like a little bit more some features like traction control and maybe few more buttons to have in different dashboard, go to the newer version. If you're just for the motorcycle and riding, even the first version like mine, 2021 or 2020 or 2019, will do the job. The necessary modifications, I have a lot of, I actually will give you one video from my channel that is that will answer this question. Hold on. Okay, I'll give you this. That is set 12 budget modifications. I'll share it here. That actually works. I have another one with only 5 modifications, but everyone is different. I don't know what kind of trips you have, what you might need or might not need. Just check this video. Tenere Traveler, does a class 3 hotel beats a first class tent? Always. I have no doubts about it. Even the best tent is still a tent, and even the worst hotel is still hotel. When I upload my video about tent and why I don't use tent and what are the pros and cons when you travel and stuff like that, many people responded and start to defend their tents. And listen, guys, use whatever is good for you. I have more than enough. I had, and I have, and I still have many tents, many nights spent in the tent, and I don't see a reason to spend another one if I have an option to have a bed and hotel for very affordable price. If it's when it's very expensive, oh yes, definitely I'll use the tent because it's cheaper option. But when the hotels are affordable, I don't see any reason to sleep in the tent. Okay. Have you ever found yourself, Channel 11 Original, have you ever found yourself in a dangerous situation with dodgy people on your travels? No, not with people. I had a few dangerous situations on my trip, but never with dodgy people. Never really. A few times I have some suspicious, and I avoid these encounters. And I might have been wrong. I don't know, but usually when I have something in mind, when my gut telling me that something is wrong, I usually try to avoid it, and I cannot confirm 100% that it was something bad. But usually everything is fine. Cannot point anything like this. Okay. Bob Giggle 6654 again. How often do you get to ride except from your travels? I ride almost every single day because I live 20 kilometers away from Varna, where my place is, and almost every day when the weather is good, I commute with the motorcycle. So I have like 50-60 kilometers every day. Today, for example, I've got almost 200 because I spent a lot of time riding around. A few times per year I make short trips, like 2-3 days, sometimes even more. Now, for example, last week I was in Croatia and back, which is 1,500 kilometers, and definitely have every year one long trip. But I don't really want to travel all the time. This is not something that I don't think that I will enjoy much. I don't want to live like a homeless person all the time. One trip per year is perfect. If I have option to have another one, will be even better. But more than this, I don't think that I will enjoy it. When you have something, when you have too much from something, it's always a little bit not so pleasure, but this is the situation now at the moment, or this is what I think at the moment. The things might change. Who knows? Richard, health on the road is important. I have my own routine, my diet, walking, 20-minute stretches, exercises every day to manage this. Do you have your own safe system routine? Yes, absolutely, Richard. This is a good point. Thanks for adding it because some people might find it useful. I do exactly the same. Every morning when I wake up at home, or when I am at home, I do it every next morning. When on the trip, I do it every morning. I start the day with push-ups, stretches in the bed first, and then push-ups, 50 push-ups every morning. And of course, every riding day, when the riding day finished, I always try to walk at least 20-30 minutes, sometimes even more, to let my blood circulate, to relax my muscles and stuff like that. And of course, a good quality food is a must on the trips. Many people underestimate that, or maybe they don't know what to eat. But to have a quality meal is very important because the food actually keeps you alive. The food keeps you strong. You need a proper food to repair the damages that the motorcycle riding makes to you every single day, if you understand what I mean. So good point. Thank you for adding this, Richard. Ghost Rider, what are the certificates on the wall of the mind? He was asking. These are these are the diplomas of my kids. Not they are not mine. They are not mine. Have you ridden in Cyprus? I've been to Cyprus twice, but I never ridden a motorcycle there. It's a small place. Probably one day I will come to ride it when I have no more countries to cover, but never ridden in Cyprus. Bogdan Sibiu, 1999. Hi, Pavlin, Richard, and everyone. Pavlin, could you estimate by what percentage prices have increased in Bulgaria since the euro was adopted? I will say 100%, Bogdan. Everything that was one left now is €1, which makes 100% more. So yeah, we have like 100% inflation. Everything is bloody expensive now. I don't know how this will end or when it will end. I don't know. I think it's a problem for the whole world right now, but I don't know. How is the situation in Romania, Bogdan? I hope that the new election makes it right for Bulgarians. I don't think so. They just finished today, now at 8 o'clock. We have a new party now, but I don't think that they are new. They are just very well masked old party. The one that I liked and I vote did not even get the necessary numbers to get into the parliament. So I don't know. I never been in politics really. I vote for the first time last year for the party that I just mentioned because I know the owner of this party. He's a friend of mine, and they were there for 2 years. But whatever. Tena Travel, there are some instances where the only motorcycle kit will do, but it is expensive. A shop of outdoor clothing shops for some base layers, sweater and belts. Do you this yourself? Yes, some things are necessary to be especially made for motorcycles, like a riding gear. But base layers or underwear or anything that you wear under your riding gear, it's absolutely fine to buy it from everywhere. I have a lot of things from Decathlon, for example, and t-shirts and stuff like that. For riding gear, I will always suggest to have a proper riding gear made for motorcycle riding only. For anything else, for walking around or layers that you will keep under your riding gear, you can use any option. Bogdan Sibiu, 10 to 20% more since 2024, 2025. But you still haven't got euro, yes? When the euro come to your door, Bogdan, you will experience the same as us. It was the same with Bulgaria before the euro, 10, 20%, maybe 30%. Now it's 100%, definitely. Bob Giggle 6654, which was your favorite place to ride? Central Asia, Big Giggles. I was there in 2015 and I will go now this summer again with pleasure in this direction. I hope that it will be even more interesting than my last time when I was there. Channel 11 original, do you pack dehydrated meals such as Huel or etc.? No, I don't eat this type of meals. For me, they are nothing more than a marketing trick. A real meal is a real meal, and real meal comes from a real products like meat, cheese, maybe eggs or stuff like that, things that you know that are real food. The rest of this stuff, pre-packaged foods, are nothing more than marketing tricks. They might save your life in some situations, I agree, but you can save your life even with a piece of bread. So I don't pack this stuff, and in every place around the world you can find something to eat. I can confirm that even in the most uncivilization places, people still living there, people still eat there, people still have shops, still have restaurants and places to eat. And I don't see any reason to bring my own food unless it's absolutely necessary. For example, last year when we approached the Brazilian jungle, there was one section about 600 kilometers with nothing between. So we bought some cans with food and some bread in the case we cannot make it, to have something to eat on the road. But I don't pack a specific food with me to travel all the time. Ghost Rider, Eastern Europe is much better living wise. In Netherlands, my country, every liter of petrol or diesel you pay 70% tax. Can you imagine how cheap it will be? Yes, it is what it is. Now the petrol here is not cheap, by the way. The petrol is 150 euros. The diesel is 179 almost. It's very expensive considering Bulgarian prices compared to the prices in the salary in Netherlands, for example. But nothing we can do about it. Richard, how is Plamen CF Moto going? He's holding up well. I know that he rides fast. I should. It is not his. It belongs to his girlfriend. And since she bought it, she has only 3,000 kilometers on it. So we cannot really say. And I probably rode it. The last hard road that this motorcycle has was when I tested. Since then, it stayed only in her garage and it's never ridden. So I cannot really say anything about the long-term quality of this motorcycle. Plamen ride his Tenere, never hers CF Moto. Bob Giggle 6654. How many kilometers do you have on your current bike, and when you consider to change it? Now, at the moment, it has a little bit more than 90,000 kilometers. I don't plan to change it anytime soon. I hope that it will not force me to change it. But if the motorcycle is in good condition, if the engine is working without any problems, I hope that it will last on another, let's say, 100,000 kilometers, and only then I might decide to change it with something else. And I hope until then, Yamaha might come with something like Tenere 450 that I will like to buy and use it with pleasure. But I don't plan to change it right now. Tenere Traveler, do you have favorite on road snack? Mine is nuts and dates. On the road, as you know, Richard, I eat eggs all the time. I used to carry nuts before, but not anymore. No, honestly, sometimes I eat bananas on the road. If I really need to get something fast, I eat bananas. Bananas usually you can find almost everywhere. But I don't have a favorite something that I carry with me. I carry water all the time, but for food, no, because as I said, food you can find everywhere, and I'm that type of person that I can hold all day without any food. So basically, when I have food, I eat. When I don't have food, I just don't eat, and I don't have problems with that. Channel 11 original, have you ever ridden sport bikes or done any track days? I have ridden only sport bikes when I was 20 years old. On the tracks, no, because we haven't got tracks back in the days. But since probably 1905, probably since 1998, I ride only travel motorcycles or dual sport motorcycles, this type of motorcycle, straight position. And I never went back to the sport bikes, and I have zero interest to ride sport bikes now. And the sport race tracks at all. It's something that, as I said, I have zero interest. But yes, when I started riding motorcycles, first it was the old mopeds, and then in my 20s I was riding only sport bikes, but not anymore. Zero interest. I cannot even understand what I liked back then. Now it's completely different story. I'm sorry if I disappoint you somehow. I know it's a different type of pleasure and different type of entertainment, but it's not something that I'm interested in. Good to have so many questions. Good conversation. Thank you, guys. You're just wondering. No. For me, the motorcycle is it's a form of transportation, or the vehicle that I use to travel. For me, the important part is to travel. That's why I never focus so much on the motorcycle or on the details that every motorcycle have, because I know that I can travel with any motorcycle, with basically any. 150, 200, 300, 400, 700, 800, 1000, it doesn't matter. Features, it doesn't matter. Do you pack a rain gear? Yes, I pack a rain gear. I have my rain jacket all the time. If I am with a Gore-Tex suit, I still have my rain gear, because for the cold days I use it on the top of my jacket. And also, when I know that I'm going to have the whole day of raining, I always prefer to have my rain jacket on the top, but I don't carry the pants, only the jacket, because I always ride with a Gore-Tex pants, and they're good enough for at least 4 or 5 hours of rain. After that, they might have some drops here and there, but they are more than enough. Micron 901, hi Pavlin, are you planning to visit Russia again? Yes, absolutely. Without Russia, I cannot go to Central Asia because I don't have any other options. So basically now, because Azerbaijani borders, land borders are still closed, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ride from Bulgaria to Turkey, from Turkey to Georgia, from Georgia to Armenia, from Armenia back to Georgia. From Georgia, I will enter Russia. From Russia, I will enter Kazakhstan. From Kazakhstan, we'll enter Uzbekistan and continue riding further to Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan again, and from Kazakhstan we'll go to Russia, and through Russia, cross the whole Russia, and come back to Europe through Belarus, Poland, and so on. So I need Russia. Without Russia, I cannot make the trip that I have planned. found nature bike. When you travel, how many kilometers do you complete per day in average? Depends on the trip, but it could be 200, it could be 800, depends on the location, the destination, and the trip. When I ride on the asphalt, if I have to stay on the highways, for example, 700-800 kilometers are perfectly fine. If there are twisty roads and many stops, 400-500 are fine. If I'm on the dirt roads, more than 300, it's already too much. So what I have to say, on my trip to Magadan was 39,000 kilometers, and I did it for 3 months, which basically makes 433 kilometers every single day. Of course, I had a lot of days off and a lot of days that were with less kilometers, but this is the average that I have. On my trip to South America last year with Plamen, we've done 32,000 kilometers for less than 3 months, which basically makes 550 kilometers per day. I know that it's too much for many people, but when you're for so many days on the road, you have nothing more to do than riding a motorcycle. And especially when you have nothing in between these kilometers, no place to sleep or eat properly, I prefer to ride, and I don't have problem with riding many kilometers. TGS Adventure, good evening, Pavlin. Good to see you. Good evening, TGS Adventure. How are you? Tenere Traveler, do you think electric bikes will become effective and efficient enough for us to travel as we do? Royal Enfield are starting now, early days in the moment, but it's begin. Big manufacturers, better prices. I don't know what to say about this, Richard. There are definitely some kind of fun to ride. I still find them a little bit weird because not only the electrical bikes, but also the motorcycles with automatic gears. Because it took me many years to learn how to use the clutch and gears and to synchronize everything. And now suddenly when I have only the throttle, nothing here and nothing in my left foot, I feel a little bit weird. It's a fun to ride, but I don't think that they will come to the level to travel with. Some people travel with electric motorcycles. I have seen a few guys on YouTube. I haven't watched the videos in details to see what they do. I know that it is possible, but when probably it will take another 5 or 10 years before they are able to make a battery that will last at least 400 kilometers, because now at the moment the range is about 120 kilometers maximum, which is just not enough to travel with. Or you can travel, but with a lot of restrictions and a lot of stops, which basically makes the trip so expensive. Good fun to ride, but are there the future of traveling? Who knows? Everything changed. If they come with a better price and better range, maybe there will be a solution. Mike 1984, hi Pavlin, just finished my very first trip, 700 kilometers, got some experience with sunny weather. How fast can you turn into a storm? How fast can turn into a storm with heavy crosswind? I was thinking about your experience in South America. Yes, South America was Patagonia was very strong winds, man. It was one day that was such a bad experience. I have ridden many times on strong winds, but nothing like what I experienced in Patagonia. And because it was a dirt road, the traction was terrible. Was very bad. Later in the evening, we watched the forecast, and they said that the winds were all the time with 100 kilometers per hour. And when the wind is blowing, it was going to 140 kilometers per hour. It was really dangerous to ride in this situation. It was just a pure luck that we did not drop the motorcycles. It was very tiring. On the next day, we have a muscle cramps everywhere. It was a big battle. Bob Giggle 6654, do you have a sock material preference? Yes, I use cotton socks in the hot days, only cotton socks. When it's very cold, I have socks from synthetic materials. I have actually one with very thick synthetic material that I use, but during the summer only cotton, always cotton, because synthetic materials they cannot breathe properly, and you might have some discomfort in your feet. Terrain Traveler, it's just tool. It's just a tool. Speed doesn't matter. Range and change instruction does. Agree about this, Richard. It is a tool, but the tool that I use all the time, it's throttle, clutch, gear shift, and brake pedal. This is the tool that I know how to ride. So when you have something different, you definitely need time to adjust. For example, 2 years ago, I was in Romania in the mountains, and we made a small trip with off-road motorcycles, electric off-road motorcycles. It was definitely a great fun to have these motorcycles in the forest, but it took me a while to adjust how to stop, because the left side where the clutch usually is was the rear brake. So it took me a while to process all of this and how to use it. Yeah, it is a tool. It's a matter of time to learn how to use it, but for now I prefer to stay on the old technology. Bogdan Sibiu 1999. I rather not ask about your elections, but let's hope that the situation for Bulgaria will be better. Diesel in Romania has dropped sharply for 7 days from 1.9 to 2.1 euro after. So you gave me bad news about the prices have been coming to the rough area for 2 weeks in the summer for 20 days. That's a shame. I hope they settle down. I don't think that they will settle down in these resource areas, Bogdan. The prices always depends on the person and the budget. I don't think that they will go down, but might be affordable for you. I don't know what to say. Okay. TGS Adventure, I'm okay. Preparing for a trip to the same price. We already talked about that. See you somewhere in the Pamir Highway. Okay. See you there. Mark McCormick Fitness. Mark McCormick Fitness. About your trip to Magadan, how far between fuel stops across Russia, and also how many days was the trip? The trip was altogether 3 months. The petrol stations in Russia, in the European part of Russia, petrol stations are basically every 5 kilometers until Ural Mountain. Once you cross Ural Mountains, the petrol stations are basically every 50-60 kilometers. A lot of petrol stations. Once you reach the far Sibir, the area of Baikal Lake, the petrol stations becomes once per 150, maximum 200 kilometers. And on the last section between Yakutsk and Magadan, where the road of bones is, the petrol stations were on about 300 kilometers one from another, and was only one section with about 400 kilometers without petrol stations. So the petrol was not a problem. I have only in one section a petrol can with me. The rest I covered with my 16 liters Tenere. I hope this answers the questions. Thumbs up, 1225. Do you have DCT Honda on DC by Honda and still more control and safe? You have DCT by Honda and still more control and safer with Manon. The throttle can be turned wrongly at some stage. I don't know what to say. I ridden only once DCT Honda. I did not enjoy the process because of the reason that I just told you. I just don't know what to do with my left hand and my left foot. I know that some people love it. It is not for me for now. It might change in the future, but not now. So a clutch is a safe bet. Yeah, okay. Trainer Traveler, does the color of your helmet matter? It means it's important to have a light visible color. It is important to have a light and visible color. You said exactly right, or you're asking exactly right. I don't have a white helmet because of the heat. I don't believe that there is a big difference between black and white helmet in the heat, because the helmet has a very thick insulation inside. As you know, the foam, it's a form of insulation. But in terms of visibility, yes, the white helmet, this is the highest point when you ride, when you sit on the road, the highest point is your helmet, and it is good if it's white, so you will be visible from distance. So yes, for that reason, yes. For heat, I don't think that there will be a difference inside of your helmet. I even watched a guy who made experiments with a white jacket and black jacket. He installed a temperature sensor inside, and the difference was just like 1 degree or something like that in the jacket. In the helmet, won't be even noticeable. Channel 11 original. What was the most difficult breakdown that you managed to fix by the roadside? I haven't got a serious breakdowns, honestly, on my motorcycles. Never ever, because of many reasons. So one of the reasons that I can explain right now is that before every long trip, I spent a lot of time on maintenance before the trip. And if you have time, watch the video that I'm gonna upload tomorrow on my main channel. This will answer your question that you're asking right now. So I never had a serious breakdown situation. I have a friend of mine with a burned clutch once, and we were able to fix the clutch by just adding a washers under the bolts and the springs to continue traveling. I had some antifreeze leaks and broken engine case and many different situations, but nothing so serious to stop us from riding. Pavlian, when you guys are entering Russia, basically on the 28th of June will be first time when we enter Russia. 28th of June, yes. After we crossed Georgia and then to Russia, 28th of June. Or this is the day that applied for visa. 3 months visa starts from 28th of June until 27th of August, something like that. From Georgia, TGS Adventures, because Azerbaijan land borders are closed. You cannot cross from Azerbaijan land border. So on the 28th of June, the plan is to cross to Russia from Georgia. Micron 901. How do you find the new Tenere and throttle by wire? Would you prefer? No, I don't like it very much, and my friend also don't like it very much, because now the electronic system decided how much throttle you can have. It's a little bit weird for me. Even my Tenere have a very jerky throttle. When you twist, it go very fast like that. And I told that with the ride by wire, they will fix this problem, but they actually did not. It's the same jerky when you twist the throttle, but also when you when you shut the throttle back or when you close the throttle, it's also very jerky. On my Tenere, it's not like that. It's when I close the throttle, it's fine, but on the new Tenere, it's very. I don't like it, and it's also something that might fail on the road. I prefer to have a normal cable, but unfortunately, I don't think that we're gonna have it for the future Teneres. Tenere Traveler, good night, Pavlin. No dinner calls. Okay, thank you very much for coming, Richard. Send my regards to Lina, and I really hope that one day we're gonna see each other finally somewhere around the world. Bob Giggle 6454. Do you follow manufacturers all change schedules, or do you change more often? I change my Tenere oil every 5,000 kilometers. If I am on very long trip, like the trip that I'm going now, I'll do it probably on about 8,000 kilometers, but I will definitely not gonna wait 10,000 kilometers. The motorcycle, the manufacturer suggests 10,000. I change it every 5,000 kilometers. Georgi Vasiliev, having a traction on 70 HP motorcycle is useless. Absolutely. The Tenere has no enough power to have a traction control. It's absolutely pointless and useless. This is my opinion, is the same, Georgi. But they did it because people want it, clients want it. You know, markets always follow the demand. The demand actually dictate the market. So, okay. So, guys, I'm gonna give you another 10 minutes if you want to ask me something, and then we're gonna end the stream. So, if you have any more questions, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Regulation dictating. So I agree with this. Yeah. What days you'll be in Armenia and what cities? I don't know the cities yet. I did not even make the plans yet. I have a paper map, need to open it and work on it. What dates I'm gonna have? Like 3 days in Turkey. I start on 15 here, 3 days 18, maybe 2-3 days in Georgia, after 20th of June, something like that. And I will probably spend 3-4, maximum 5 days in Armenia, and then go back to Georgia and to Russia. Armenia is just a place that is very close to my road, and I want to see it because I haven't been there before. But it's not the main part of the trip, if you understand what I mean. Sums up 15 kilograms of baggage in your trip still. I think it will be way less because I'm not going to take my tent with me. I don't think that the luggage will be more than 10 kilograms in total. And this includes my tank bag as well. So I'll be very light, even more lighter than the last time when I went to Magadan, because I'm not going to have the tent with me. On my trip to Magadan, it was around 12 kilograms. I had the tent only without sleeping bag and mattress. Now I'm not gonna have even the tent. Bob Giggle 6654, thank you for sharing your extensive knowledge and answering all of your questions. No problem. Bob Giggles, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for coming tonight. So I do these live streams with channel members and Patreons every week, but once per month I also do it open for everyone, like today. So I'm glad that you enjoyed the live stream. Unbeaten estimated budget. I don't think that I will spend more than 4,000 euros altogether for the whole trip, but I estimate that it will be around 3,000. Found a nature bike while across Turkey. Will you plan to meet with your followers? I'm not gonna have time to meet with followers in Turkey because it's around 2,000 kilometers from Varna to Georgian border, and if I stop everywhere to meet people, I cannot make it even for a week, and I plan to cross it for 3 days, so I'm not gonna have any times for meetups on the road. Micron 901, what is the volume of your saddlebag? 50 liters. 50 liters is the volume, but I don't think that you can put inside more than 40-45 liters maximum. TGS Adventure, what can we do with drone when we enter in Uzbekistan? Nothing. Hide it. If they find it, it will be a big problem. In my opinion, hide it somewhere and don't tell them that you have a drone. Even if they ask you on the border, I don't know what to say. Say I don't have it, but if they search your luggage, they will definitely confiscate it, and it might be a problem. So I don't know what to say. I don't have a drone, and not only for this reason, I also don't want to work with the drone on the road, but in Uzbekistan, definitely not a solution. So hide it. Maybe split it on different parts and hide it well in the clothes or something like that. I don't know. But I know that it's forbidden to have it there. Or maybe, yes, ship it to another country, but ship it where? It's not that easy. And it's expensive item. It's expensive item. You cannot just ship it like that. You might lose it in this part of the world. Shipping is not something that people used to have in their countries. All right, guys, 5 more minutes and I'm gonna end the stream. So if you have any more questions, go ahead, do it. Now is the moment. Next week, we might do it again open for everyone. I cannot promise for now, but I might do it. And once again, if you have time, watch the video tomorrow on the main channel. It will give you some good directions to follow for your next trip. It's definitely something that you have to consider when you plan your trips. Mark McCormick Fitness. I'm sorry I cannot pronounce properly your nickname. Can you cross the Caspian Sea by ferry from Baku? Yes, you can. But now I have done it once in 2015 from Baku to Turkmenistan. But now at the moment, Azerbaijani land borders are closed, so you cannot cross to Azerbaijan with your motorcycle, if you understand what I mean. You can fly to Azerbaijan, no problem at all, but you cannot cross land borders with a motorcycle or any other vehicle. If you're inside of Azerbaijan with a vehicle, for example, you load it on the truck, put it inside of the country, then you can get out of the country with your vehicle, but you cannot cross it right now. But yes, there is a ferry crossing Caspian Sea. Good evening to all. Found okay, thumbs up. Right. Thanks for opening the stream. I enjoyed. I have a nice evening, everyone. TJ's adventure. Yeah. Is there any ferry from Bulgaria to Georgia? Yes, there is a ferry from Bulgaria to Georgia to Batumi, but it takes 3 days and it is very expensive. So basically, for 3 days, I will do it going through Turkey and will make it way cheaper, because the last time when I checked, it was something like almost 600 euros for one person and a motorcycle. Micro 901, Russia will be only transit country, or you want to visit some cities in central region? I would like to visit many cities. I have been to almost all of the places in Russia, but my friend Plamen haven't been, so we'll definitely go to Ekaterinburg, Kazan, Moscow, St. Petersburg, and many other places. So yes, it's not going to be only a transit country. I enjoy Russia very much. I don't mind what people think about Russia and Putin, and I really don't mind about all of this stuff. Russia is a fantastic country with fantastic people and great places to visit. And also, I speak the language and I have many friends over there. So I will definitely enjoy the journey through Russia once again. So if we're going to cross the whole country, basically have, I don't know, at least 5,000-6,000 kilometers until we reach Belarus. So it's not just a transit. I hope that I'm going to get the visa, but it will be all right. I should have it next week on some stage, because this is the most important visa at the moment. The rest of the countries does not require visa, but Russia definitely will. Bike Egos Pro, how is Romania? Did you recommend it to visit? Oh, absolutely. Romania is a fantastic country to ride a motorcycle. So many beautiful roads and Carpathian mountains and small beautiful towns and a lot of culture and nice food. Romania is a great destination. Where are you from? I think there are some Romanian guys here in the chat. You can contact with them and they will tell you a lot of information. I enjoyed very much Romania. I've been there many times and I will always go there with pleasure. People are also fantastic. Bike Goes Pro, where are you from? In UK. Yeah, people from West usually are afraid from Romania and Bulgaria. It is safe. It is much safer than UK at the moment. I can bet that in many of Romanian cities, you can leave your motorcycle on the street all night and no one will even touch it. But if you decided to do it in London, you know what will happen. So go to Romania and you will enjoy it very much. All right, guys. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you very much for coming tonight. As I said, next week I may do it again open for everyone. I cannot promise right now. I'm not sure that I will be here, but if I'm here, I might do it. All right. Another one question. Bogdan Sibiu, number 1 in Romania, you'll have Transalpina, Transalpina, Transalpina. Yeah, absolutely. So many different passes. Yeah, you already have the answer. All the best. Thank you once again, guys, for coming, making this stream. As you know, I recorded everything and I'm gonna edit it just slightly and put it back on the channel, because many people might benefit with the information, people who are not able to watch it live. So keep riding, keep smiling, and see you next time. Ciao.